Josh Heupel made a revealing comment on Jermod McCoy's injury that I think is going to be concerning for a lot of Tennessee football fans. Heupel, when asked about Jermod McCoy, said, I think with the injury in his rehab process, it's how he encounters the next phase and the next stage as he continues to prepare himself and get ready to play. I saw him the other day, and he's going through his rehab. He looks really good. His moving skills are good. It's a progression throughout the course of the end of the summer and through training camp. We'll figure that out as we get into the season. Keep in mind, obviously, we want him. He's a huge part of us defensively, but a short-term and long-term health as well. Very, very revealing comment by Josh Heupel right there. Because the revealing comment is that they do actually expect, I guess you could say, Jermod McCoy to be somewhat healthy, but we don't know how healthy. This is going to bring us to Hot or Cold, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. Hot or Cold, City Heating and Air Conditioning. I think Joey Aguilar was I think Jermod McCoy is not going to be ready to go into the season. Hot or Cold, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. With Joey Aguilar not ready to go into the season, it's time to play who will be able to step into that role. And I want to tell you if I'm hot or if I'm cold on this guy being able to play the number one cornerback role for Tennessee. So let's get rolling. Hot or Cold, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. 50 years in East Tennessee. Integrity matters. CityHeatandAir.com. Jermod McCoy being out. Well, let's play hot or cold on this first. Hot or cold on who will be the top number one cornerback for Tennessee at the start of the year. First, Jermod McCoy. Are we hot or cold on him? I'm cold. I think based on what was said, what Josh Heupel said, I think it's pretty clear now that Jermod McCoy will not be 100% at the start of the season. And when you take that into account, you got to be cold on him. I think that Jermod McCoy will not be ready to go at the start of the season. Now, Sam Schrock says, I literally got nothing from that quote. Sam, the moment that he said that stood out to me was when Heupel said, we'll figure that out as we get into the season. That's the line. Why do you have to get into the season? That basically... to me, makes it pretty clear that Jermod McCoy won't be 100% in September. And I mean, who would expect that? He tore his ACL in January. So, I mean, he's going to need a little more time. So I'm cold on Jermod McCoy being the number one cornerback in September. Ricky Gibson III. I'm cold on Ricky Gibson III being the number one cornerback in September. Why? Because I think he's a number two guy. I think Ricky Gibson held out for a little bit more money in the offseason, and I think he got it. But I think spring ball happened, and the coaches realized that he can't really be the number one guy. I think they realized that's just not what he can do. He's a good situational cornerback who can guard and part of his system, and that may be enough, by the way, for him to be able to play even in the NFL. I mean, I think Richard Sherman couldn't be a number one cornerback, but you can be a very successful number two cornerback if you have the right help around you and guarding the right receiver. I think that's Ricky Gibson's move. I think that's where he's always going to be. I just don't think he can guard the number one guy. And I think that part was very, very, very clear with what was said about Gibson, or with how Tennessee handled Gibson during the offseason. And the biggest reason I think that's evident is hot or cold. Who is next? Colton Hood, the Colorado transfer. After spring, we haven't seen him yet. He didn't practice with the team in spring practice, but he was in line to replace Travis Hunter last year. After last year, he was in line to replace Travis Hunter going into this year, and now it looks like it might be a stronger possibility that he will do that. Taking that into account, am I hot or cold on Colton Hood? I'm hot on Colton Hood. I think Colton Hood will be the number one cornerback with Jermod McCoy out. I think Colton Hood is going to be able to fill that role somewhat admirably. I don't think he'll be as good as McCoy. It could cause Tennessee problems when they play Georgia, but I think that's Tennessee's best chance is to go with Colton Hood. I think they're very high on Colton Hood going forward. And if you guys remember, Colton Hood for Colorado last year, to his credit, did have 2 interceptions. He was just a redshirt freshman, had 24 total tackles, 20 solo tackles, assisted on another 4, and had 2 interceptions as the number 2 cornerback. He also has SEC experience as he played at Auburn in 2023, had 3 solo tackles there, didn't do anything else. He redshirted. He officially took a redshirt that year before he played at Colorado. This is his third team in 3 years, but at the same time, I think he knows that Tennessee needs him. He comes out of Georgia. I think he's got a lot of real potential and a lot of raw talent. I think Colton Hood is the guy who will replace Jermod McCoy as the number 1 cornerback. Will he be as good? No, but Tennessee did strike gold by landing McCoy last year out of Oregon State, but McCoy was a freshman All-American. There was a lot more potential behind McCoy than there was behind Hood. I mean, again, even being expected to fill the void of Travis Hunter, how good is Travis Hunter really? So that's another question that we have to point out. Was just being a two-way player what made him a Hall of Fame, a Heisman winner last year? We don't really know, and that's kind of what stands out to me about Colton Hood. So I'm setting up the poll question now, which is who will be Tennessee's number 1 cornerback in September? And you guys can vote on it. We're going to say, here's how we're going to say it. We're going to say Jermod McCoy, despite injury, Ricky Gibson III. Let's see, Colton Hood, or somebody else. And I'm going to name a few more somebody else's in a second who could maybe be the shocker as the number 1 cornerback. First, stick with us, hot or cold, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
There's your pair.
All right, so a few other players who could be on this list. And one of the questions about Colton Hood, too, I want to go back to that real quick, is Colton Hood hasn't been tested as much playing at Colorado because he played against Big 12 competition and he didn't play much against when he was at Auburn. So now going to the other names, could Boo Carter move into the number 1 cornerback spot? I'm hot on that possibility, guys. Y'all know I love Boo. He wants to be Travis Hunter this year. What better way to do that than to move him to the number 1 cornerback spot while Jermod McCoy tries to get healthy, and then you move Colton Hood or Ricky Gibson over to nickel? It's possible. Jordan Thomas, he can alternate between nickel and corner and safety. No, I'm cold on that. I think Jordan Thomas will be back at safety. He's technically not listed as that in the depth chart yet. He's technically considered another nickel, but I think he's the main safety. Jalen McMurray, I'm cold on that. McMurray is a situational cornerback, a utility cornerback, could play nickel as a veteran, but he can't guard the number 1 guy. So it comes down to Hood, McCoy, or Carter, I think are the top 3. The poll question, who will be Tennessee's number 1 cornerback in September? 17% say Jermod McCoy despite injury, 33% say Ricky Gibson III, 33% say Colton Hood, and 17% say somebody else. Who's with me, baby? Boo. Boo Carter for number 1 cornerback. Boo Carter for Heisman. Let's roll. We're going to push it. I'm telling you it's going to happen. I've been high on him from the start. I think he's ready to go. What if Boo Carter leads the team in interceptions and receiving this year? It's probably not going to happen. I'm just messing with you guys. But I do think it's highly possible that Boo Carter could slide into a cornerback role and somebody else play nickel until Jermod McCoy gets fully healthy.